And the 1950 Cup final was underway. Logie to Lewis, the inside left, two still up, Arsenal 1 up. Goal number 2. Arsenal were deservedly the winners.
The 1971 FA Cup final. To George. He scored! George has done it!
The first FA Cup final outside Wembley. Michael Owen for Liverpool! Yes! Oh, he's done it! Gerrard! He's got it! Liverpool have won the FA Cup for the 7th time. Arsenal have won the FA Cup again. Arsenal have retained the FA Cup. The FA Cup belongs once more to Arsenal. Liverpool have won the FA Cup in Cardiff.
As you'd expect, there's a packed house for what promises to be a real thriller. Where else could we be but Anfield? It's Liverpool against Arsenal in the 3rd round of the FA Cup, sponsored by E.ON. Alan Shearer, there's only 1 point between these two sides in the Premiership. It's a really tough one to call.
Oh, it's a tough one. I think the potential to be a fantastic game. Some great players out there. I'm delighted Henry's back. I'm a massive fan of his. Greatest striker in Arsenal's history. And his performance in his comeback game last week suggests that he's back to his very, very best. As
for Arsenal, and they've been a bit inconsistent on their travels. Which side's going to turn up today?
Well, that's the thing with 5. They've had 5 wins and 5 losses away. They don't normally do that in a season, so it would depend on what one's turned up. But like Al said, Thierry's back in the team. They've done well when he weren't about, so he wants to come back and show them that he's back, and I think this is a great stage for him. I
think both sides had similar seasons. It started off with tremendous optimism, then for periods it was doom and gloom. I think it's back to tremendous optimism, and whoever wins this game, it can shape the season, it can define the season. They've got a lot of big games coming up, and the FA Cup is still a massive tournament.
Both sides have got strong lineups, but they've each left their first choice goalkeeper out. Neither Lehmann nor Rayner plays, which is a bit of a turn-up.
Yeah, I think it is a bit of a surprise, but I mean, since when do goalkeepers need a rest? That's what I say. They don't exactly do a lot in a game, do they? But that is a bit of a surprise. But that still won't stop it from being a fantastic game.
They've done it for television. Both sides are both keepers are prone to errors that are coming in, so we're going to have fireworks.
A few extra goals. Well, the other two are quite good to watch as well,
not bad.
when they normally play. Ian, it's a tough game for Arsenal coming here today. Henry's back, though, as you said, and that is vital.
Well, that's the thing, Lynch. The fact with Henry being there, I think it'll give the guys a lift. But the fact is, you come to Liverpool at any stage, especially in the FA Cup, they're the defending champions. They're not going to let it go easy. I personally believe that Arsenal will win it, but it's going to be a major game.
No, you're wrong there. Liverpool are going to win. But you're looking at the two.
I had a feeling you'd say that, to be honest.
Two captains, 2 best players, and you're looking for inspiration from either.
OK, it's Liverpool versus Arsenal for a place in the 4th round of the FA Cup, and you can see this game in high definition on the BBC HD channel, if of course you're lucky enough to have it. Your commentators here at Anfield are Mark Lawrenson and John Motson.
Thank you, Gary. I'm not sure if Alan Hansen's in high definition yet, but he won't need reminding that in his playing days, Liverpool once went 3 years on this ground without losing. Now as they come out alongside Arsenal in yellow, the fans are starting to call this Fortress Anfield again, because Liverpool have won 18 and drawn 3 of their last 21 matches here since Benfica beat them in the Champions League last March. Big reception for the two teams. In fact, not since October has an opponent even scored against Liverpool here. And that was Agbon Lahore of Aston Villa in a game that Liverpool won anyway. But the protest cards being held up there on the Kop are designed to draw attention to Kelvin Mackenzie, the former editor of The Sun, who was working on a BBC radio programme prior to Christmas. It's been well documented, of course, that the Sun's coverage of the Hillsborough disaster is still a source of great controversy on Merseyside. Let's look at the two teams, shall we? Liverpool lineup includes 6 of the players who helped win the FA Cup in Cardiff last May. As Gary said, Yeshi Dudek is in goal. That's a rare opportunity for him. Daniel Agger and Luis Garcia both return to the starting 11. And Craig Bellamy is a substitute tonight. Cout and Crouch start up front. Arsenal have just 4 survivors from their FA Cup winning team of 2 years ago, when Toure, Senderos and Gilberto started against Manchester United. Van Persie was a substitute that day, and they've rested Jens Lehmann, as you said, so Manuel Almunia, whose only Premiership appearance was against Liverpool this season, gets promoted. Cesc Fabregas is suspended today. Now on the bench along with the likes of Craig Bellamy, Liverpool have Marc Gonzalez, the Chilean winger, and Arsenal have Theo Walcott, who's just returned to fitness. And we have in charge today referee Steve Bennett, who renews acquaintance with Arsene Wenger, who he sent from the touchline at the Emirates recently at half-time in the match against Portsmouth. That's a charge that the Arsenal manager still has to face. But he's assured me, by the way, Arsene Wenger tonight, Arsenal will not be dipping into their pocket in the transfer window. But here's a man who was transferred, Jermaine Pennant, 6 years an Arsenal player, a lot of that time spent out on loan, of course, before he joined Birmingham and eventually Liverpool. And while the pre-match ceremonies are going on, taking their seats in the director's box today will be several members of the Dubai International Capital Consortium, whose negotiations to buy Liverpool are, I'm told, at quite an advanced stage. The FA Cup, still admired across the world. And the Football Association, out of their £30 million profit, or something like that every year, devote £15 million of that in prize money and television fees to clubs taking part in this competition. Rafael Benitez in the programme saying how much he wants to defend the trophy that they won in Cardiff last May with determination and pride. Well, there's a man who's just come back, talking to a man who's really in form. Thierry Henry and Robin Van Persie. Van Persie currently the top scorer at Arsenal with 12. And Steven Gerrard, whose goal rescued Liverpool in the dying moments of the 90 minutes at Cardiff last season. And of course, we all know what happened after that. That's the build-up for you. Mark Lawrenson's with me. What are you expecting?
I'm expecting an attacking game. I really think it's a sit-back, watch this unfold. I think both teams picked extremely strong lineups, but very, very attacking. Both managers do not want a replay, which is good news for us, I think.
No, they don't, and they also meet here again next Tuesday in the Carling Cup delayed quarter-final. I think they've decided, Wenger and Benitez, this is the game in which to play their stronger side, other than the goalkeepers. It's a free kick to Liverpool, taken quickly by Alonso. Doesn't seem a year since we were at Luton, Mark, that 5-3 game in the third round last season.
Well, if it's half as good as that, we're in for a cracker, aren't we?
Absolutely. Alonso scored from his own half, didn't he? That's Agger. This is Risa. Senderos waiting for the ball to bounce. Toure trying to cover. Ooh, that came dangerously near to Peter Crouch.
Yeah, just a little bit of indecision. Toure, Senderos.
It's just flicked the head of Risa. Hillsborough protest, or the Kelvin Mackenzie protest, is still going on in the Kop stand. They've said they'll last for 6 minutes. The reference to the 96, of course, is a testament to the people who died in that terrible disaster. This is Kleb for Arsenal. Clichy. Number 7, Thomas Rosicki. Henry was trying to stay onside there. Alonso, Pennant. Little touch by Dirk Kuyt. No surprises in the formations, Mark?
No, none at all, John. Certainly the prospect for Arsenal supporters. Van Persie and Henry up front, fully fit the two of them. Goal scorers. Van Persie's come of age, hasn't he? Probably, in all truth, since Henry got injured. Also, Adebayor, who's not here tonight, but certainly Van Persie's looked more like the player we knew he was.
Steven Gerrard well forward in this attack. Yes, Adebayor is still on the injured list for Arsenal.
I think it's made Henry get fitter quicker, you know. The form of Adebayor and Van Persie. There's nothing better.
This is Luis Garcia. This is really one to sit back and enjoy because the two teams know each other so well and have such a pedigree in this competition. This is Flamini playing in the role normally occupied by the suspended Fabregas. Xabi Alonso, Peter Crouch. Now Emmanuel Aboué, Kleb, this is Count. Not sure how long this protest is going to go before it distracts the players, Mark. They said 6 minutes, didn't they?
They did indeed, yeah.
And we can't ignore it. It's a very orchestrated event, this here. We shouldn't ignore it. This is Aga. Some idea of the volume of that. Meanwhile, at the other end, Manuel Almunia looking for Thierry Henry. There's Aboué. Steve Finnan on that side. Jermaine Pennant has fed him again. There are three waiting in the centre for Liverpool. Jamie Carragher. Peter Crouch with the header. Flamini. Van Persie. Rosicki. Well, there's a massive round of applause going around the ground because the 6 minutes is up and the protest has been made and has now subsided to a gigantic cheer around the ground. Nothing to do with the match at the moment. Here's Thierry Henry trying to get Van Persie through. And Liverpool break away. Dirk Kuyt found a lot of space there. He's got Peter Crouch coming near post. Emmanuel Aboué didn't get that away. It's Garcia. Risa. Alonso. Garcia. Atmosphere is all about football. It's Rosicki to Van Persie. Oh, they've got a runner free on the far side, Arsenal. Really good run by Gilberto there, Mark.
I think that Liverpool were a little bit fortunate because it was Gilberto, John, and he knew the lack of pace. He would have to cut inside, and once he did, unfortunately for Arsenal, the move broke down.
Gilberto's having a bit of a purple patch. He's scored 8 goals this season. That's twice as many as he's ever got before in a whole season.
He's a goal machine, the boy.
This is Finney. Pennant. In domestic matches, Liverpool are unbeaten here for 29 games. Chelsea, the last English side to win at Anfield. This is Kaut to Pennant. Appreciate being bustled a bit there by Pennant. Senderos cleared it.
Yeah, I think Pennant thought he was caught by Clichy, didn't he? A little bit of a red mist for a minute. I think already, I mean, still under 10 minutes play, but it's a classic sort of home team trying to push on and the away team looking to play on the break here.
Yeah, there was a time years ago when they'd have been quite happy to have a draw in a game like this, but with fixture congestion nowadays, neither club wants it. So you can look for some, hopefully, some good attacking play. That was Garcia to Alonso. Xabi Alonso again. Pennant far side, he won that. Oh, the Popper in good voice. Gerrard. We don't really need a commentary, Mark, with singing like this, do we?
Do you want me to answer that then?
No, I think people would be really pleased, wouldn't they? Just a point there. If Liverpool do build a new stadium, and Benitez obviously knows all about this takeover that may lead to that, would you lose, as Arsenal did temporarily when they went to the Emirates from Highbury, would you lose a little bit of the atmosphere, do you think?
Well, I think it will go from what capacity here, 44 to arguably 60. And I think Arsenal say that they've got so many corporate supporters now that it is an argument at the moment that you might have to say yes.
That's Crouch. Risa. Well brought down by Crouch and on by Garcia. This is Kaut. In the middle is Pennant. Crouch has gone there too now. Garcia with the cross. Forward by Carragher. Toure with Crouch. Gilberto back to Senderos. Arsenal still without William Gallas, of course, as well as one or two others. Adebayor, Lauren still not fit. Fleb. That's well done by Steven Gerrard. It's got players going right and left.
Well, he didn't really have too many options, did he? I think Kaut was going right and Crouch was going left, but neither were in a great position to receive the ball if he could make the forward pass, and I think in the end he decided to shoot. I think he shot.
Didn't score in the Premiership until November the 25th this season, Gerrard. He's had 4 since. Plus an award in the New Year's honours, of course. Clichy. Arsene Wenger, who's Had a lot of success in the FA Cup. Most of it at Cardiff, of course.
Did you say Henry was playing, Matty?
He's on my list here, Mark, yes.
A bit careful what you say. 222 goals in 361 games for Arsenal.
I just thought about that now.
Crouch, Couch. So gone straight to Flamini. Now Henry. Arsenal, like Liverpool, are moving into a bit of form. They've only lost one of their last 9. That was at Sheffield United. Mr. Wenger's had a few things to say about games like that this morning in the press. Didn't seem to be much of a problem for Swansea, did it, today? Here's Alonso. It's Luis Garcia who's gone down.
Free kick, I think, caught by Aboué.
This is Jermaine Pennant. Carragher has given it back to him, but he's offside. Peter Kirkup is the assistant referee on the far side of the field.
I think while Liverpool have had most of the play, therefore the possession, they haven't really fashioned themselves this clear-cut opportunity yet. And also when the crosses have come in, Crouch and Cout are both fighting for them, but there's no been sort of great advancement from midfield at the moment, apart from sort of Gerrard's run with the shot, which obviously was nowhere near. And we just haven't really seen Arsenal so far, have we?
No, I want to speak to you when the time is right about this business of offside and level, because it seems to me that assistant referees are starting to give the advantage to the defender again over Christmas and New Year. We'll talk about that when the play subsides a bit, I think. There was an example there where I thought Pennant was more or less level and he was flagged. Yeah. I think it was Phil Don, when he was the Supremo at the FA, who invented this phrase daylight. We seem to have forgotten about all that.
What happens when you play at night, though?
Yes, good point. It's trumped that, isn't it? Here's Risa. I shall persist with that if it happens again, though. You know the point I'm making. Here's Crouch. Pennant. Gerrard's up there on that side as well for Liverpool.
I think we have to credit Arsenal, John, at the moment for the uneventful sort of happenings in the game, because they're playing a real pressure game on Liverpool, which is unusual for teams here.
This is Pennant, though. Alonso. Trying to get Gerrard free here. It's a Liverpool corner. Yes, Arsenal have subdued and squashed Liverpool rather early on.
Now, I think if Garcia takes this left foot, he'd stick it underneath the crossbar. See about the goalkeeper. We know he's not played too often lately.
Well, Gerrard is the man who has gone and stood right in front of him with a defender in between. So Garcia, with his left foot, may be tempted to plonk it in there. Agger is coming from the penalty spot. Crouch, of course, is there too. Here goes Agger. It wasn't really the best delivery in the world, was it? It was Van Persie who cleared.
It was meant in there, though, wasn't it? Yeah, most definitely.
Here's Garcia again. Clichy with the challenge. Free kick Arsenal.
Yeah, I think Garcia just clipped the back of his heels, didn't he? Kumi.
This is a Liverpool Football Club announcement for all supporters. In the interest of your fellow supporters, especially those with young children, would you please remain seated during normal play, as their view is severely restricted due to persistent standing. Thank you.
This is the thing about all-seater stadiums, isn't it? When people jump up in excitement or when the play's developing, the people behind can't see. Announcement made there on the public address system. This is Agger. It's Toure trying to ward off Kaut. What this game needs now is a clear-cut scoring chance to open it up at one end or the other. It's Henry. It may happen now with Rosicky, not quite.
Oh, it was so close, wasn't it? The timing of the pass and the run from Rosicky was excellent.
And he was onside too.
He was maybe entitled to go for that ball as well with the goalkeeper.
Risa. That's Kaut, and it's Luis Garcia up against Toure. Steve Bennett says goal kick.
Just one of the drawbacks of Garcia, not really strong enough in situations like that. But you also saw from Kaut, John, why he's so popular here. Prepared to chase lost causes, and they do like that, the supporters at Anfield. Doesn't half work hard, him.
Sir Alec Ferguson and Carlos Queiroz. Their game is tomorrow against Aston Villa. You can see it on BBC One at 1:50, live with us. And don't forget tonight's highlights, by the way, 11 o'clock on BBC One, all the third-round goals.
And I think Manchester United are at Arsenal, aren't they, in 2 weeks? 2 weeks tomorrow, is that right?
Certainly are. They're at the Emirates at 4 o'clock on that Sunday. "20 minutes gone at Anfield. No score. Eboué. Xabi Alonso. Well, Pennant's got a bit to do there, I have to say. Clichy got the better of him, not surprisingly, and it's come to Flamini.
Good challenge by Jamie Carragher. He's prepared to get himself hurt to try and win the ball, and in the end, completely distracted Flamini. It was, you say, a little bit of a risky pass, wasn't it? Especially the pace of Clichy. Also, Henry was down that side as well.
Jamie Carragher's never played at Wembley. Something he'd like to put right this season.
Certainly not in the last few years, anyway.
It would be quite hard to have played there, wouldn't it? Since 2000.
Wembley FC.
For Arsenal. Kleb. Van Persie. Tried to get Kleb in on the return. It was cleared by Daniel Agger. Gilberto Silva.
It's just good pressure from both teams. It's not particularly great in terms of a spectacle, but you can understand from the manager's point of view, both teams working extremely hard when they haven't got the ball.
Gerrard. Count. Agger. Liverpool are trying to move the Arsenal defenders around, but they're not letting them do that.
Well, the other thing as well, John, is because of obviously Fabregas not being available, they've got Flamini sat alongside Gilberto Silva, and at the moment, you know, the accusation of Arsenal, a little bit of a soft touch away from home, is certainly not one that you can make a point at the moment, because they look very, very good, don't they?
This is a cross by Reset. Oh, it's come to Luis Garcia. If his first touch had been better, there was a shot on goal there.
I think that was a key poor first touch. It was on his right foot, wasn't it? It was almost as though he didn't expect it.
It's a decent pass that by Finn into Garcia. And here's Reset. Gets it back from Xavi Alonso. Takes on Abua. Near post ball for Couch. Is this going to be Alonso? And Steve Bennett has shown a yellow card, and I suspect that's to Alonso for, well, would you say diving?
Simulation.
Simulation.
Yeah. In a fantastic position as well. He's absolutely right, I think, the referee. Although you might argue maybe just a trailing foot at the end from Gilberto.
Do you know what? I've got a slight issue with you there. I think there was contact.
Well, I think the only thing is, John, that before there was contact, he started to go over Alonso, which is probably why the referee's given it not in Liverpool's favour.
And would he have got the ball, or doesn't that matter?
I think he would, because he flicked it up, so it's not as though he flicked it in front of him too far, was it? Because his touch was soft on it.
Yellow card for Xavi Alonso, who got a red here against Arsenal, I remember, last season.
Yeah, there it is again. I think the referee's got it right. I think Alonso's waiting for him to catch him. I'm sure the boys in the studio will have a view.
Well, don't worry about that, they'll have a view.
Probably the only view of the half, they will have.
There's Daniel Agger for Liverpool. Well, Steve Bennett didn't hang around there, did he? I mean, always when a referee points like that, half the crowd think it's a penalty.
Yeah. The other thing as well, there wasn't great protestations from the Liverpool players, Alonso apart.
Peter Crouch is in the middle there. Free kick was taken mighty quickly. Came to nothing, in fact. There's Clichy. There's Alonso. Little touch from Crouch. Senderos made the tackle. Crouch again. Flamini cleared. Oh, now Van Persie has caught Agger.
I think it's accidental, John. I really do.
Yeah, Steve Bennett has made a gesture to say no free kick. Instead, it's Dirk Kuyt who did ever so well to keep that in, and it isn't a bad cross, and Almunia had to stretch.
Well, Kuyt did absolutely brilliantly. Great cross as well. The only problem for Liverpool, there's only Crouch in the penalty area. It was the only red-shirted player in as the cross came in.
Well, Daniel Agger is coming up for the corner. Now, Thierry Henry, if he latched it... Oh, no, he didn't latch onto it. It's Carragher instead. That could have gone either way. Crouch is there again. Agger is still forward. It's Crouch. What's your take on the fact that people keep linking Crouch with other clubs? Hasn't he done well enough at Liverpool? I would have said he had.
I think he's done OK. I think the thing with Crouch, John, is I think your wide players have got to play really well and supply him with the crosses. If they don't, I think is quite easy to negate. And, you know, his movement's not particularly good and he's not particularly strong. Get your wide players in. We saw with Pennant last week against Bolton. He looks a completely different player, Crouch. But at the moment, with no great service from the wide areas, redundant.
Here's a man who's not redundant. It's Kleb. Inside the penalty area, Alexander Kleb. It's deflected. It's going to come out to Eboy, though. His touch wasn't good enough, and Liverpool are away. Well, Benitez has come out protesting there. Wenger's given the ball back to Eboy, and there's a bit of reaction down on the perimeter.
Benitez actually having a go at one of his own players. He wasn't worried about the challenge on Kaut. It was at one of his own players giving the ball away. I think it was Xabi Alonso.
Forward by Senderos. Here's Kaut. It's 5 up in this attack for Liverpool. Kaut's spotted Pennant on the right. Cross wasn't very good. Gilberto Silva. Luis Garcia appears to have been caught in the face. Eboy was the player he tussled with. Goalkeeper's come running out. And Steve Bennett's got a little bit of sorting out to do here, Mark.
Well, Eboy gets the foul because I think, there you go, Garcia tries to grab hold of him, and it's a little fob off. It's nothing particularly great. And I don't know what the goalkeeper's doing.
I think when we get back to the pitches, you'll see that Steve Bennett is just going to talk to the two players. He's not going to produce a card, which I think is good refereeing. Yeah. We really do have to distinguish between the real fierce elbow and the brush-off, don't we now?
Yeah. And the kiss them made up before 6 o'clock, look.
Only just. Here's Thierry Henry. Rosicki. Pennant's very unhappy by the challenge of Clichy.
Yeah, he was unhappy about 20 minutes ago from the challenge from Clichy as well, and I don't think he's ever really got that out of his system.
Henry. Well, that's Senderos, isn't it? Referee's gone to his pocket here. That's a card.
It's arguably his first foul challenge as well, but because of what's gone on in the last few minutes, Alonso, was it a penalty or not? The thing with Eboy and Garcia and Pennant, he's just the victim of the circumstances, Senderos.
He got a bit of the ball, but he got the man coming in from behind, didn't he? So it's a yellow for Senderos. It's a free kick to Liverpool. Agger is forward again. It's been played across to Risa. Blame John Arne-Risa for shooting from there when you look at one or two of the goals he has scored for Liverpool.
On the same token, it's got to be some strike from there, isn't it?
Yes, he got 3 in the FA Cup last season, actually, Risa, and also scored a penalty in that shootout in the final against West Ham. That was Thierry Henry up with Alonso, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Free kick to Liverpool. Nah, it's nothing. I'm sorry, boys, you need to get up from those. He's done well, the referee, John.
I've had a bit of time for Steve Bennett.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever done the final, but if he has, or hasn't, he might be a contender for this season because...
Bet against him now then, now you've tipped him.
No, I won't tip him, that's silly. This is Carragher. But he has kept the thing moving and hasn't over-dramatised the incident, so I agree with that. This is Crouch. Pennant. Crouch again.
Well, the game is somewhat sterile, isn't it? What we're coming up to 32 minutes, but you do have to credit Arsenal. Liverpool's unbeaten run, scored lots of goals at home lately as well, and taken a lot of teams apart here, and they've been very, very good and very sound across the midfield and the back. And well, Almuni's not made a save, has he? He hasn't, no.
Well, I don't think. Dudek has either, has he?
No, I think there's a block by Reese,
Well,
which is just, that's the problem, the sum total of it, isn't it?
Not one of any consequence.
No, no, no. It's too much football on the BBC, isn't it?
Can't have you and me agreeing either, can we? It's throw into Arsenal on the far side. Henry. That's away by Carragher. Oh, there's an incident off the ball. Carragher, when he cleared that, Clichy, I don't think there's any hard feelings. I think Clichy just caught him. There was going to be a booking.
Yeah, I think he just followed through a little bit, but...
Well, who do you book?
Clichy was booked.
Yeah.
But I don't... No great. The other thing about it as well is Carragher, in fairness, got up straight away and shook hands with Clichy, but the referee deems it's a yellow.
Indeed. So we've got 3 players on yellow cards now here. There was a cut tie between these two in 2002 when there were 3 sendings off at Highbury. Here's Pennant. It was the day that a coin was thrown and Jamie Carragher tossed it back in the crowd, I think. He was sent off, Martin Keown and Dennis Bergkamp, who I think got the winning goal. Here's Toure. Oh, it's Van Persie chasing Agger here. Pushing, says Steve Bennett, against Van Persie.
Near hand in the back, wasn't it?
Just over 10 minutes left in the first half at Anfield. If you've come in late to this game, there's no score. And there haven't been any goal attempts to speak of. Here's Risa. Garcia. Xavi Alonso. It's Risa's cross. A little bit of wrestling there by Oh, Toure was hesitant there, had to concede the corner.
Well, he did brilliant in the end, John, because he wasn't sure where his feet were and where the ball was, and also Gerrard was marauding into the penalty area.
Well, Garcia and Pennant have come across to do a double act on the corner. Agger is forward. Gerrard on the goal line. Crouch won't reach that, but it might. Oh, what a drive by Xavi Alonso.
Brilliant. All about technique. Great corner. Look at the technique here from Alonso. That is such a sweet strike. Almunia was well past that Almunia before he realised it was anywhere near the goal. Paul Scholes at Bradford City.
Gerrard. Pennant. Gerrard has found Couch. Risa. He's found Kleb. Van Persie's in the middle. Thierry Henry is joining him now far side. It's Kleb again. And that was Rosicky! And Arsenal take the lead in the FA Cup third round at Anfield, and it's Thomas Rosicky. 36 minutes gone. It's only his second goal for Arsenal.
Well, this is the archetypal goal out of nothing. Good break by Arsenal. And Kleb's on the ball as well. He's not quite sure where to play it into in the end. A lovely little ball in there, comes back out. And the great thing here, John, head up all the time. Lovely little ball, first time. Brilliant finish.
Well, it's been made by Kleb here on the right-hand side, and Rosicky just lofted that with his right foot. Beautifully delivered, wasn't it?
Yeah. I think the key as well is just, his first touch was his only touch. The other thing, very similar to a goal Stevie Gerrard scored here.
Actually, yes, it was. Identical.
Almost from the same position on the field as well. Yeah.
Rosicki's only previous goal was in the Champions League against Hamburg. Now here's Thierry Henry. And that's the first goal, Mark, that Liverpool have conceded here at Anfield since October. Here's Cleb again. Roberto getting involved there, but now has that opened the game up? Here comes Xabi Alonso. Play on. No, not now. Oh, yes.
Now, Steve Bennett gave a free kick. He waited and waited and waited to see if Alonso benefited from the challenge by Gilberto, which he didn't, and brought the play back. I was just about to say to you before as well, is with Flamini in there, and Arsenal looking really solid, has it taken something away from Arsenal as a forward sort of entity? But obviously not with that goal.
Czech Republic international who came to Arsenal from Borussia Dortmund, Rosicki. He didn't have the best of luck with injuries earlier in the season, or indeed with his finishing, but there was certainly no argument about that. Clean and clinical. Arsenal lead on a ground where Liverpool haven't lost for 10 months. There he is again. That's Clichy now. Shook off the challenge. Henry's in the centre, so is Van Persie. Rosicki's moving up as well. Poor pass by Clichy. He took the wrong option.
I bet Stevie Finnan's delighted because he really pulled out of a challenge there and lost the ball.
There's Crouch with Senderos.
I don't think that goal sort of greatly changes the way the game's going to be played. It's still very much going to be Liverpool pushing on and Arsenal looking to play on the break, isn't it?
Looks that way, Mark, I have to say. This is Tennant. Counts in there again. Fred trying to clear this time, and he does get it away with some help from Gilberto. Now a Bowie. Henry. Oh, that's good play. Flamini. And now look at Van Persie going left to right here. Is he offside? No, apparently not. Goal kick.
Yeah, that's good play by Garcia, tracking back, stopping his man getting the ball. And just going back to the ball, it's the ball in which dictates to Rosicki. You've got to play it first time, which he does. That's absolutely brilliant. There is no other area in the goal that can stick it over Dudek.
Pat Rice and Arsene Wenger celebrating there.
Yeah, managed to see that one.
1-0 to the Gunners. But here's Reece now. Overhit.
I think he'll be thinking, we've not really stretched Arsenal at the back. With the pace of Van Persie and Henry up front, you're always thinking the ball in behind is dangerous for Liverpool. But at the moment, Count and Crouch haven't really been able to run in behind the likes of Senderos and Toure, and it's inevitable. You're sort of thinking, well, we've got Bellamy on the bench. Have to think about it at some stage.
Definitely. Here's Henry. Senderos with Clichy outside him. Gerrard. The opponent went over, challenged by Clichy, although it was Senderos who cleared the ball. Here's Gerrard. In by Carragher. Headed by Crouch. Here he is again with Alonso. Gerrard, little ball into Count. Gerrard again, Count. Away by Toure. Free kick.
Yeah. Senderos with a pusher on there. Is it Count or Gerrard? Certainly looked like his arm came out.
Dangerous position this for Liverpool to get something. Yes, he's got his arm around the neck of Dirk Kuyt, hasn't he? Who do you fancy here, Mark?
Well, I would have thought from this side, left-footed player like Risa, but try getting the ball off Alonso.
Well, yes, he's put it down, talking to Steve Bennett.
I just wonder the way they've lined up Liverpool, John. This free kick is designed to take the wall out of play.
Yeah. Perhaps have to come back from an offside position here, which he has now. Risa's the man with the run-up. Alonso standing by the ball.
Looks like Flamini's going to be the charger as well, and he's trying to gain an advantage.
It's Risa, the block was on. It's a corner.
There you are, look, Flamini was the first one out.
Daniel Agger is hovering around the penalty spot here for Liverpool. It's too long for him. Crouch comes in behind the goalkeeper, who takes it cleanly.
Does now relieve the pressure, that as well. The goalkeeper can come catch those corners.
Just a minute left of the 45. Haven't been many stoppages in this first half. This is Gilberto Silva for Arsenal, who lead 1-0. Thierry Henry. Van Persie wants it played through the centre, but he's picked out Rosicky. Henry again. And Rosicky again. Well, he's done it again! What a first half he's having! Thomas Rosicky makes it 2-0 Arsenal.
Well, from Liverpool's point of view, this is a really awful goal to concede. There are so many bodies in and around the striker. Look, 4-5, nobody ever really gets close enough to make the tackle. He's hit the ball very, very early, and you might have to look at Dudek's positioning. No great pressure on the ball, is there?
Well, former defenders like yourself and Alan Hansen will definitely have a view on this. How many red shirts were there around there? 5?
There's lots.
And as you say, it squirmed a bit, didn't it, past Yeshi Dudek? 2-0, Thomas Rosicky both. 2 minutes of added time here. Pennant for Liverpool. Kuyt. Alonso. Well, that's a bit of a turn-up, Mark, isn't it? We didn't have much going on until the 37th minute. We've had 2 goals in 8 minutes from the same player. Yeah,
we've had an outstanding goal, the first goal, and a little bit sort of scratchy, but still a very, very important goal from Arsenal's point of view. I honestly believe, A, there should have been better pressure on the striker as he makes the strike, and secondly, sure about the goalkeeper here. Well, I'm not sure about him, but I'm not sure about how many red shirts there were there. Yeah. I think it was 6 or 7. Do you know what that might have been, John? It's sometimes a case of too many in there, leaving it to each other. Nobody taking responsibility. Absolutely. 2-0 Arsenal. Fred. What we do have to say is that Arsenal, tactically, absolutely perfect. Spot on, Mr. Wenger. Here's Hleb. Van Persie, Hleb again. Now Bowie wins it back and goes for the line. And Dudek gets a block on that, and he's grateful for the help. The FA Cup holders are 2-0 down to the team that won it the year before. Here's Crouch. They came back from a position like this at Luton a year ago. Can they do it again? Half-time, and the man of the half, unquestionably, is Thomas Rosicky. 2 goals, 37 minutes and 45.
Golden goal competition.
And Thierry Henry puts an arm around him as they go off. And after an even half hour, Arsenal and their delighted supporters have suddenly taken over. Half-time at Anfield in the FA Cup third round. Holders Liverpool 0, Arsenal 2.
Anytime after the game.
Yes, the holders are in desperate trouble. It was fairly bland for half an hour until Rosicky took over.
First 35 minutes, I'm thinking it's an absolute minger. You know, it's all the two goalkeepers not a save to make, and then we're saying it needs something, and boy, did it get it, because the goal was magnificent. The build-up was great, the ball retention was great, the movement was fantastic, and the finish was just out of this world. It was a fantastic goal. Liverpool
seemingly had most of the possession, Alan, but Arsenal always looked perhaps the most likely on the counter-attack.
Yeah, Liverpool had a lot of the ball, but they didn't do anything with it. They're not a threat. The Arsenal back four are very, very comfortable. Not once has anyone run in behind them, haven't turned them, and they've struggled with that. They've hit too many long balls. Arsenal are picking up all the second balls if Crouch wins it, and at the moment the back four are very comfortable. I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen Bellamy come on to try and get in behind and use his pace a little bit.
Ian, you've just got your breath back from jumping up and down on that chair and getting all excited. Terrific half for Arsenal.
It was in the end, like Alan said, they've got nothing to worry about going like Kolo Touré and the pace that they've got. Like Liverpool can do all that play because they're quite comfortable, and they've just let them come on, and then they've just got into their game, just passed it around, and then nicked a couple of goals. It's delightful stuff.
Well, nicked a couple of goals, but they were two special goals, weren't they?
Very good, very good.
Well, this is excellent, and we're saying at the time we need something special, and we got it, because Reece in possession here, and when Arsenal pick this up, we've seen this time and time again. We do it in Match of the Day virtually every Saturday night, where they just break in numbers, they keep a hold of the ball, they'll always find somebody in possession, they've got alternatives. It is wonderful. You look at the red jerseys back there, there's plenty back there, but they've gone a bit deep there, Liverpool defence, and they've paid for it.
Wonderful goal.
I think any other team in the country would get into that position there and cross it into the box, and I think Dudek is expecting that. That's why he's 6 or 7 yards out, I think. They don't do that, and they pull it back to resist.
Call it 5, yeah.
Arsenal don't do that.
But any other team would put that ball into the box and expect someone to get on the end of it with a header, but not Arsenal, not with Henry and Van Persie up front.
I think what you're looking at there is the Liverpool defence. When I said they're too deep, it was a point Alan made, that if you've got Henry playing your side, then the defender, exactly, it's the worst ball is the one in behind. The one that you fear most is the one in behind, and it's the difference between the two sides. Liverpool are defending deeper than Arsenal because Liverpool haven't got the threat in behind them.
Yeah, no, just as we thought, well, that's a one-off from Rosicky. Does it again. Well, different sort of goal, but a fantastic finish nevertheless.
Well, Ian Wright will love this. I absolutely hate it because, if you look at the Reds there, all right, they're backing off because we're talking about the threat in behind, but there's not a challenge. If you look there, there's 8, 9 Reds there, but how many challenges do you get here? And then there's maybe 6 on the ball here. No challenge. It's a fantastic hit. Can't take anything away from Rosicky, but we're going to stop it here in this instance when he's about to hit it. And just tell me how many Reds are in the picture there. It's just unbelievable. I mean,
8 there.
That is an absolute nightmare.
I think it's been classic Arsenal, classic counter-attack football. Quite happy to let Liverpool have the ball, and as soon as they go into their half, and they'll just go bang, 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 close the ball down, and both goals have come when the ball's been in the other half, and Arsenal have just classic counter-attack gone, and 2 great goals for them.
Well, they haven't got nothing to worry about. That's why you say Craig Bellamy, for me, I can't understand why he wouldn't start.
Well, he's had a hamstring problem, hasn't he? So maybe he's not 100% sure that he's going to be fit to... I think we might see him in the second.
Yeah. Well, he might see him in the second, but I tell you what, another reigns pose, because you've got another problem there. If you look at the clips of Arsenal, getting it, playing it, Gerrard and Alonso, 2 great attacking players, 2 players that are fantastic in the ball. They'll give you this, that, next thing going forward, but there's no real protection for the back four. The back four are going deeper and deeper, and then what's in front of them? There's nothing there in front of them.
OK, we're going to take a little breather here at Anfield for the news from Matthew Amrolawala.
Gary, thanks very much. Good evening. The head of the prison service says a new database is urgently needed to track inmates who escape from England's open prisons. Phil Wheatley admitted that he doesn't know how many prisoners are on the run, but he insisted that the number of prisoners absconding is going down. Our Home Affairs correspondent Gillian Hargreaves has this report.
There are 15 open or Category D prisons in England. They provide a sort of halfway house for offenders regarded as low risk to the public. Inmates are allowed out into the community to re-establish family ties and find work. But it seems some prisoners take advantage of the less secure regime. The head of the prison service, Phil Wheatley, admits there's no accurate record of who's absconded from open prisons because there's no central database of recaptured prisoners.
Information is held on a series of local databases. That's the way our IT system is set up. We don't keep a central record of that. We don't need a central record of that.
This week, the Home Office, replying to a Freedom of Information request by the BBC, admitted 693 prisoners disappeared from England's open prisons in the 12 months from April 2005. The government said 401 of those prisoners remained at large. Now they've admitted they don't know the exact number. Critics say some high-risk inmates are being moved to open prisons to ease overcrowding in more secure jails.
People are being transferred who do pose a risk to the public. Now, probation officers are telling governors send them back to closed conditions, and in some cases that's happening, but in the majority of cases that advice is being ignored. They're staying in open conditions, and I know for a fact that a number have already absconded.
The Home Office says it's going to invest in a new system to track where offenders are and what they're up to. Gillian Hargreaves, BBC News.
Thousands of passengers using Bristol Airport have been facing a second day of disruption. EasyJet and 9 other airlines are refusing to use the resurfaced runway because they say it's too slippery in the wet. The airport insists the runway is safe. Tamsin Smith has more.
Boarding passes, please. Thank you.
A cup tie between Liverpool and Arsenal, and the holders are in dire straits. Arsenal lead by 2, Thomas Rosicky goals to 0. We'll look ahead to the second half shortly, but first, let me tell you about our coverage of the remaining third round ties. The best of the action and all the goals scored are on Match of the Day tonight. BBC.
Right now, I think they're going to go on to score again.
Liverpool have to score quickly, don't they?
They have to score quickly. They're playing right into Arsenal's hands at this moment in time.
OK, let's get back for the second half with Mark Lawrenson and John Motson.
Well, it was one of the most famous score lines in the history of league football, I suppose, wasn't it? Liverpool 0, Arsenal 2. That incredible night, well before the time of Rafael Benitez, 1989, when Kenny Dalglish was manager here and George Graham was in charge of Arsenal, and they had to win by 2 goals that night to clinch the league title. If it had stayed 1-0, Liverpool had won it. Amazing, and the double, of course. But along came Michael Thomas in injury time, and it goes down as probably the best ever finish to a league season. It's 2-0 again here tonight to Arsenal. And coming back from 2 against them is probably rather different to coming back from 2 or 3-1 down as they were at Luton a year ago, Liverpool, in the third round. But the incentive is there, and the second half starts with Flamini getting a bang in the face.
Yeah, and Gerrard as well, so purely accidental. I think Liverpool not score within the first 15 or 20 minutes just accelerates the appearance of Craig Bellamy, doesn't it?
You know, that debate at half-time, which I found absorbing, really, as we both had our view anyway, it just goes to show, you know, that video technology, God forbid it ever comes in for incidents like that, I wouldn't countenance it, but if it did, you still can't prove it.
No. What you must say, whether you're for it or against in terms of penalty, referee was in a fantastic position.
He was. Now then, are Arsenal in a good position to clear this? No, they're not. Gerrard. Luis Garcia, chance for Liverpool early in the second half. Appeals for hands from the cop, not from the players. Finnan. Alonso. Hager. Count. Oh, it was Gerrard hoping to run onto that. Rosicky on a hat-trick. Now to run quite a long way there too with Kleb. Gilberto Silva. Oh, Hout was in quickly there, my goodness he was. And he's turned a nothing situation into a Liverpool attack. Crouch in the centre, others joining, like Gerrard here. And still, little back heel, he nearly got Garcia in there, Steven Gerrard. Are we going to see a storming Liverpool comeback here, Mark?
Well, there's certainly an urgency about them at the start of the second half.
Alonso. Gerrard. That was Garcia's touch. Goal kick. Liverpool don't agree, but that's how it is.
I just felt when Garcia got in a position just before, he went to clip the ball the outside of his left foot, which I think it was a half chance for Liverpool, certainly. It was a wasted half chance.
This is Crouch. Pennant hasn't really got the service in yet from this flank. Might now. Here comes Couch.
That was a ball, wasn't it? And didn't even really have to have a look, Pennant, just deliver it in there, and Couch just half a yard on the defender. Didn't make particularly great contact, but certainly in terms of service, it's an improvement from Liverpool.
You made that point about Crouch needing crosses from both flanks. I mean, Gonzalez is on the bench as well.
Well, unbeknown to our viewers, John, both Gonzalez and Bellamy doing extensive warm-ups in front of us here.
You've got a better view than me, because I didn't see them, but you're quite right.
Because I'm stood up.
That's right. This is Agger. Crouch is coming in from this side. It was Gael Clichy with the header. Now Gerrard. It could fall for Crouch here, but the whistle's gone. Offside flag.
There's absolutely no doubt about this, is there?
Well, there's plenty of daylight there, isn't there?
Yeah.
This is Thierry Henry. Only played on the fringe of this match so far, Henry. Leaving the centre stage to Rosicki. Here's Alonso. Garcia. Gerrard. Count has found Pennant. Oh, Peter Crouch waiting here. Peter Crouch off for Senderos. Here comes Alonso. Now Arsenal have got work to do back there.
I don't know if you saw it, John, when that cross came in for a moment, Touré looked like he was thinking about handballing it.
Well, yeah.
It was a bit of I don't know if you see if he raises his... Oh, he's thought about it, it just went over him.
Absolutely. Peter Crouch specialising this season in overhead kicks. He didn't get one in there. And the man on the left needs no introduction. Ian Rush and John Toshak, both eminent centre forwards of the past here at Liverpool. And for Wales, of course, too, I should say that.
I think while Liverpool have upped the game somewhat, it's still, when Alonso and Gerrard have got on the ball in midfield, they still don't have that, not ability, but the possibility of sticking balls in behind the likes of Touré and Senderos because of, well, we know about Crouch's lack of pace and Count to a certain degree as well, and obviously therefore you're cutting down the number of chances you can make.
Well, they've got to move Touré and Senderos out, haven't they, really, to make a bit of room.
Not only that, they've got Gilberto and Flamini in front of them.
The double anchor, yeah.
You said anchor, didn't you?
I did. Now then, there's a throw into Liverpool down here for Finnan. Pennant, Alonso. Now Luis Garcia has won that against Kleb and then taken one in the face, it would appear. The referee was pretty close to that. He hasn't stopped the game, but he may have to if it's a head injury.
Yeah. I think he just got clipped around the head by Kleb, didn't he? Yeah, completely accidental.
I think Flamini comes in first, doesn't he? And then Kleb follows in, yeah. Starting to chant Wembley again now, the supporters, aren't they? They thought they might have forgotten that word over 7 years, but they haven't.
No.
Doesn't quite sound the same, we're all going to Cardiff, does it, really?
No. That's the Arsenal supporters obviously chanting it. They won't have far to go, will they?
The FA still very hopeful of playing the final day. They won't get the keys to the stadium until the backup events have been sorted out to test the security and the safety certificate is issued. There are still 1 or 2 formal bridges to be crossed.
I thought you were going to say they won't get the keys till they paid the bill.
Well, that's another issue, isn't it? They'll get paid one day, I guess. Here's Finnan. Pennant. There's Thierry Henry finding Van Persie. We should be in for an open second half, shouldn't we, if Liverpool take a risk or two and push on?
Well, they'll have to, won't they, the longer the game goes on. Which, again, will suit Arsenal the way they're set up today.
Both these clubs, of course, nursing Champions League ambitions come February again. Now Gerrard to Crouch. Well, he's been pulled down. Senderos made the first challenge, Gilberto Silva made the second. But I think he's given the corner.
Yes, Liverpool are complaining, but what the referee said, look, it bounced on the edge of the area to one of your forwards who had a shot.
Well, it's been taken quickly to Finnan here. Peter Crouch up far side. Well, the Liverpool supporters on the Kop end in the stand, they're not happy about that decision. They thought it should have been a free kick. This is Crouch. Alonso. Count is there, Crouch is there. Blocked off by Toure.
Yeah, well played Toure as well. Just made sure he got his body in between Crouch and the ball so Almunia could come and collect it very easily. This is the original foul, but it breaks to Liverpool. It breaks to, I think it's Count, isn't it, who has a shot. In all honesty, Liverpool won't be complaining if it goes in the top corner.
So you're saying it was a correct advantage applied by Stephen Bennett?
So.
Yeah. Here's Carragher.
I tell you what, Bellamy's still having his warm-up here. If he doesn't get on, he'll lie down.
That's aimed again towards Peter Crouch. Gilberto again acting as the screen in front of the Arsenal back four. Alonso's got Finnan here. You do sense there might be a Liverpool goal somewhere. They've got far more of the play now. Finnan. Crouch with Gerrard following up in that familiar position. Van Persie lays that back to Kleb. This is Thierry Henry, and look at Van Persie. He's onside against Carragher. Difficult angle, turned aside by Yeshi Dudek. Corner.
It's actually good play by both players because Carragher knows Van Persie wants to cut inside on his left, so he's showing him down the outside to his right, where he's not particularly strong on that foot, and it just narrowed the angle down, and in the end it's a comfortable save for Dudek. Good break though.
It was. Senderos and Toure are forward for the corner here, and not far away is Gilberto, who's, as I said, scored a few this season. Robbing Van Persie to take it. It's Toure, but just goes by him. Liverpool had everybody back for that. This is another chance for Liverpool to get the ball away, which they do through Agger, only as far as Henry. Alonso. Had his shirt pulled there, surely. And takes the free kick himself. Luis Garcia. Risa. Pennant. Agger. Garcia is wide left here. Alonso tries to get Gerrard in, the header on, and the clearance by Rosicki, the man of the moment. Finnan. Pennant. Chip that ball in towards Crouch. I think we're just about ready for the substitution, Mark, aren't we?
I think so. We keep harping on, certainly me, about Bellamy, but that might not be him.
I think we could see Gonzalez. Anyway, here come Arsenal again.
I think it might Aurelio, John.
Or
Sure, yeah.
Aurelio can play wide left, can't he? Yep. Here's Pennant. Liverpool still missing one or two. Sissoko, Zenden, Harry Kewell, all long term. That's Alonso. Garcia to his left. Eboue has to be quick, concedes the corner. Well, there's going to be a change now before the corner's even taken. Aurelio, the Brazilian, is going to come on. And it looks like John Arne Riise. It's a straight swap at left back.
No, they're just asking to push on, won't they? Almost players. Left-sided midfield player and just gamble.
So it's a corner to Liverpool. Carragher and Agger are forward here. Agger gets up first. Thierry Henry clears.
Great header by Henry.
Back it goes towards Kaut, but comfortable for Almunia. And indeed for Arsene Wenger just at the moment. Are they going to make a change?
Well, the other thing as well, I'm looking at their bench and I'm thinking Theo Walcott at some stage, 2-0 up, get the speed merchant on.
We've been playing for an hour at Anfield in the FA Cup third round.
This is a Liverpool Football Club announcement for all supporters. In the interest of your fellow supporters...
At the moment as well with Aurelio on, what Liverpool have done is Pennant's gone to play on the left and Garcia's come over to play on the right-hand side.
Here's Rosicki. Yes, it's a switch by Liverpool. Thierry Henry. There's Theo Walcott, the man you mentioned. So as we get one into the second half here, a chance that the holders of the FA Cup could go out at the first hurdle this year. Here's Kaut. Aurelio. It'll need to be some sort of recovery by Liverpool to stop that happening. This is Pennant. Kaut is there, and so is Garcia.
I just wonder, John, whether it's Henry they might bring off Arsenal.
Well, he's coming back gradually, isn't he, after that period of enforced rest, and Wenger needs him badly for what's to come. Crouch. Gerrard, now then. Gerrard goes again, and out comes Almunia. Had to kick it, he was over the line.
John Almunia did brilliantly because You probably couldn't see it. His starting position was excellent, and he was so quick. And he played almost like a sweeper, just read the situation.
We saw a man before the game tonight, Mark, who used to do that, didn't we, Bruce Grobbelaar?
Yeah. Rumour has it he kept goals as well.
Here's pennant for Liverpool. Shot there by Treb. There's a bit of loose marking by Arsenal on the throw-in. It's given Aurelio the chance to get into the game. It's a poor one from Xabi Alonso, though. Lost all the advantage, and it's Thierry Henry. He's got support either side. Van Persie to the right, Rosicky to the left. This is Van Persie. And that challenge was vital by Jamie Carragher.
Yeah. Wouldn't be the best first touch of Van Persie's career, would it? Henry does extremely well. He waits and waits, he goes forward, he's got his head up, he's waiting for the run, delivers the pass. Just the touch isn't good.
It's the point you made about Van Persie being so much stronger on his left foot.
Yeah.
He'll take the corner with that, that's for sure. And Senderos is up there, talking to Gilberto Silva. Easy one for Dudek. But his throw wasn't so good, it was cut out by Rosicky.
John, Liverpool have made a change Aurelio on for Risa, but it's just not changed the way that Liverpool have played whatsoever, is it? Which doesn't, at the moment, seem to make any sense. And there's still that urge for get Bellamy on and just start to stretch Arsenal at the very least.
It's a bit pleasant, I have to say.
Well, you might say to me, all right, he's had a bit of a hamstring problem, but why is he on the bench if you think it's going to go?
Exactly. Robbie Fowler wasn't selected in the 16, by the way, tonight. He would have been another alternative had he been among the subs. It's a free kick, though. A buoy.
It's a little bit of a kick at him when he's played the ball, is it? Garcia. Oh, the old classic, go down injured yourself. It always works, that one. He's hurt himself, hurting somebody else. It's great, isn't it?
Here's the incident, Mark.
He's kicked him. It's a yellow card, quite simply.
Well, Bellamy's getting ready, I think.
The ref's going to book him now.
Yeah, he's got the yellow card in his hand. You called it right.
Do you know what? He might have got away with it if he hadn't lain down himself and decided he was injured.
There it is, the yellow card from Steve Bennett to Emmanuel Eboué.
The sympathy vote not.
Liverpool have the free kick. Good catch.
He's done very, very well, the goalkeeper. Excellent. Considering he's not playing much first-team football. He's coming forward the crosses, he's been really good.
Yeah, also on the bench for Arsenal tonight, Mark Pawn, the Estonian goalkeeper, who's number 3 really at Highbury these days. He's had some fine days at Derby County before he went to Sunderland. Here's Garcia. He's got behind Eboué. Corner.
Fantastic ball into him as well. He chested it down, Garcia. He was just really waiting for the ball to come down, and it just allowed Eboué just to nick it away from him. Corner for Liverpool now.
Now then, somebody's gone down by the post.
It's Eboué.
Yes, he's on the floor again.
Yeah. Well, if the referee's got any sense, he'll say, go off the pitch if you're really injured, because it's only about 2 feet, and you can have some treatment. And this will decide if he's injured or not.
Well, now they're pushing him off the pitch. Peter Crouch is trying to encourage him to go, and there's been a bit of a shove back here.
Yeah. And he stood up really quickly.
But they need him there to defend the corner, don't they?
There you go, look. Nothing wrong with him.
Now, has that disturbed Arsenal's concentration a little?
Well, he can't. The referee's not letting him back on the pitch. No, Gary Lewin's now giving him treatment.
Yes, Gary Lewin's come around the goal to... and in the meantime,
he's off.
They've made the change. Justin Hoyt is on.
Hoyt, leaving the field, number 27, Emmanuel Eboué.
It's a right back for a right back. It's a corner to Liverpool, though. Aurelio puts the ball in. Headed back by Finnan. Free kick, backing in, Peter Crouch.
Yeah, well done, Gilberto Silva, just stood his ground.
So it's Hoyt who scored his first Arsenal goal on Tuesday against Charlton. He's on. Justin Hoyt brings an English presence to the team. And off goes Emmanuel Eboué. Aurelio. Garcia. Toure being challenged by Crouch here. Good challenge also by Gilberto Silva there. This is Henry. Gerrard for Liverpool. To Finnan. They still can't penetrate this Arsenal defence, Mark.
Because there again, the ball's got to come wide. It can never be played through the middle and between the spaces of the centre-backs.
No, I don't think if they're going to burst any blood vessels on that bench, do they? In getting Bellamy on. Well, Van Persie's gone down here. He won't get anything from referee Bennett. I understand that Eboué had an ankle injury. Here's his replacement, Hoyt, with the header. Kleb. He's gone down. That will be a free kick against Luis Garcia. It's the diagonal ball out to Garcia. Supporting him is Aurelio. But he's looking for Crouch. Senderos up here. Crouch has been penalised.
Yeah, he just whacked into the back of Senderos when he made the clearance. I think Arsenal might be making another change as well in a minute. Pat Rice waving frantically at one of the subs down away on the right. I think it's Baptista, is it?
Well, we'll soon know. The change by Benitez that we were expecting. We did think we would see Bellamy by now, or maybe Gonzalez. 20 minutes to go. Arsenal lead by 2-0.
It will be Baptista.
That was Alonso. This is Count. Not before Clichy got in twice. Gerrard to Aurelio. Aurelio's away, and they're lining up in the middle here. Toure again.
Brilliant block.
Oh, absolutely.
Just threw himself, just in whatever bit you can get your body on the ball. It's fantastic defending this.
It's a corner to Liverpool to be taken by Luis Garcia. Well, it was. They changed their minds. It's going to be Jermaine Pennant. That's Crouch. Count was right in front of the goalkeeper, and Liverpool have got one back. Dirk Kuyt just got the final touch from Peter Crouch's header.
You'd argue as well, it's the first clean header that Crouch has won. Kuyt is fantastic, great reaction, just nicks it past the goalkeeper.
Liverpool are back in the cup tie. Jermaine Pennant takes the corner. Peter Crouch wins the header. Dirk Kuyt right in front of Almunia. Nods it in. It's 2-1.
Sorry, good decision as well for Liverpool, John, because a left-footed player was about to take the corner before Pennant moved him out of the way.
You're so right. They changed the kicker and it paid dividends. And now Arsenal bring on Julio Baptista. in place of Robin van Persie. So he'll play up with Thierry Henry. Well, that's really lifted the evening from a Liverpool point of view. That's Crouch again. He's a great favourite here, Dirk Kuyt. You may have just noticed the traditional kiss of the wedding ring, which is the way he celebrates. Gerrard. Oh, and Alonso's got Garcia away here. Back by Senderos. This could be a cracking last 18 minutes, Mark.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how strong Arsenal can be. They need the likes of Flamini and Gilberto Silva now at the moment to be very, very strong front to the back four, because the crosses you would expect to be raining in.
They'll be disappointed to concede a goal from the corner, but that's the way it is. It's Alonso. And it's Crouch. And it's Alonso to Aurelio. Oh, Jermaine Pennant was waiting for that to drop. Here's Finnan. Gerrard curls it in. Aurelio coming in as the last man there, shaping for the volley, could have equalised.
Great ball. Diagonal cross from Gerrard. I think it was Crouch who did extremely well, because he just held the defender off, almost as though he knew that Aurelio was behind him.
Maybe Rafael Benitez knows more than we do. We were nagging him about not bringing on Bellamy, but they're back in the tie, aren't they? With more than 15 minutes left. Big roar from the cop stand. Pennant. Just think Arsenal are getting pushed a bit further back there in that last 10 minutes, Mark.
And also, John, second to the ball in all areas at the moment.
Defending very deep. Luis Garcia. Gerrard. It's all Liverpool now. Well, that's out of play, though. Don't think Arsenal have got hold of this in midfield at all at the moment.
No. There's great disparity as well between the sort of back four and the midfield players. Just a great touch by both. Crouch flicks it on towards a goal as you do in that situation, and Kuyt always going to beat the goalkeeper there. And didn't go for the power, just made sure he beat the goalkeeper to the ball.
The defender who had been marking Kuyt had moved away, actually, hadn't he?
He went to Leeds.
This is Carragher. Aurelio's pass picks out Gerrard. Lovely back heel, not quite to Luis Garcia. Good turn by Gilberto Silva. And they're getting out-muscled there in midfield, Arsenal, but Rosicki with the challenge. Agger wins it back. Liverpool really mean it now. It's Gerrard. Comes across Hoyt. Garcia. They really need an outlet here, Arsenal, and I'm not quite sure where it is, because Julio Baptista up here is going to get shut off by Carragher.
The other thing as well, John, is Henry's taken a whack. I think it's a challenge from Agger. He's limping badly at the moment.
You can see Pat Rice saying, "Move out! Don't get fall so deep." Agger. Now Henry's not at full throttle. You're right.
No.
So, Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2. Liverpool have had 70% of the ball in the last 15 minutes. Fled for Arsenal, he gets a free kick there. It's Henry. It's Baptista. And he's giving away a free kick here, the substitute. Aurelio. Alonso. Well, the game's been played almost entirely now in the Arsenal half. It's Aurelio's cross, and Dirk Kuyt is hovering again.
Well, I think you watch his body, he gets himself in a position where he's actually almost got his back to the goal when the cross comes in, and he's looking to knock it back, to flick it back to one of the Liverpool players. It looks like he takes his eye off at the end.
He's scored 8 goals now this season, Kuyt, and 7 of them have come here at Anfield.
And he's just looking for somebody up there alongside him, isn't he?
Henry. Garcia. Touched by Crouch, a good one too. Gerrard's in the centre this time. That's come out again to Garcia, and still Arsenal don't get it away. It's Kuyt, he's onside. Tried to pick out Gerrard on the edge of the area. Alonso. Aurelio. Kuyt again. Angled cross, Senderos heads clear. Pennant. Needs a good cross now. In by Finnan. Thought he should have had a free kick there. It's Kuyt again. Almunia is coming to get it.
Oh, for a minute, Clichy just wasn't sure about the bounce, was he? And Pennant stayed out.
10 minutes to go and a bit more here. On by Pennant. Away by Clichy. Forward by Finnan. Do you think it's a little bit of saving Bellamy for Tuesday here?
Yeah, but we're in danger going out the FA Cup, aren't we?
Well, I know. I'm just trying to work out the reason why he's not been used.
I'm baffled.
Here's Baptista to Clichy. Crouch. Gilberto Silva can't get to Peter Crouch. Senderos just about did. And the Liverpool comeback still has momentum. It's going to be Steve Finnan with the throw. Crouch flicks it on, away by Senderos, but there's nobody up there for Arsenal, look. And they're coming out very slowly, they really are. They're going to be back on their own 18-yard line any second here. Crouch. Gone out for another Liverpool throw. Free kick. It's a foul by Rosicki on Pennant. And Liverpool here are threatening to equalise.
No, this has to be a Gerrard free kick, really. Whipped in, right-footed cross.
Agger and Carragher are both there. Jamie Carragher heads over. Mark, in a situation like this, should Toure as the main man be bringing the Arsenal back four further up the pitch? Because they're virtually playing in their own penalty area.
Yeah, I think Gilberto Silva as well, John. Just push on a little bit, but you know, when you're a little bit unsure which Arsenal are and their away form, and it's quite easy to take a step backwards rather than forwards. It just needs some strong character to ensure that they come forward.
May have been Sol Campbell's job once upon a time. Here's Kuyt.
Tony Adams.
Of course. Gerrard. Steven Gerrard still. It looks very much as though Arsenal are going to finish off hanging on here.
Well, the problem is, of course, with him, if they don't have the ball, Rosicky, Kleb and Henry and Baptista are basically redundant in the game.
Header on was by Baptista. It's a long, long time since Arsenal crossed the halfway line with any real purpose. They're not going to do it here either. This is Gerrard for Liverpool, steering it towards Peter Crouch.
Well, you could see what he meant. Just Crouch couldn't get there, unfortunately. No fault of his own.
This is meant for Finnan. Xavi Alonso. Aga. Aurelio. Christian Hoyt will get the header in here, and it's going to come to Thierry Henry. Now that he's got Baptista going right, he's on his own on this side, Henry. You say about Thierry Henry? Quiet by his standards for 83 minutes. Has he sealed the victory here for Arsenal? It looks very much like it. He bustled Jamie Carragher off the ball mark.
Yeah, classic counter-attack goal. Brilliant from Henry. The problem with Jamie Carragher, he just sells himself a little bit, John, there. Just tries to slide in and get it with his left foot and just really kept it in play for Henry, and you're then just waiting for the cut back inside and the goal, aren't you?
Just steered his shot beneath Dudek.
It's so difficult as well, you know, when he cuts in from the left in the penalty area, when he cuts inside of you know what he's going to do, but he's so quick. He just gives himself half a yard all the time.
Ian Wright will enjoy this statistic because he set the record at Arsenal, didn't he? Thierry Henry now 223 goals in 362 games.
He might not enjoy it if it broke.
Well, no, but Wright is the first one to say, you know, he raised the bar and Henry's pushed it even further. Here's Flamini.
That's what I told you.
3-1 to the Gunners, and Liverpool 6 minutes away from going out of the FA Cup at the first hurdle, having won it last season. That was the first Arsenal attack for a long time, wasn't it?
Yeah. Destructive, though, wasn't it? That's the thing.
Here's Alonso. Finnan. Aga. Luis Garcia. Chiro fell over when he tried to get that ball away. It's come to Julio Baptista there.
We'd never thought there'd be 4 goals in this game after 30-odd minutes, would you?
No, the FA Cup always comes up with something unexpected. Here's Rosicky. You wouldn't have backed him to get 2 either, having only scored 1 all season. Here's the man who appears to have put it beyond any doubt. He's been bustled off the ball himself there, Henry. This is Couch. He's got Crouch up with him. It's still Dirk Couch. Bit of a shout there against Henry, but Steve Bennett well positioned.
Went down a bit easily, didn't he, Couch?
Arsenal seem to have it over Liverpool at the moment. They beat them 3-0 in the league at the Emirates in November. They're 3-1 up here. They're here again on Tuesday in the Carling Cup quarter-final. Winners of that play Tottenham in the semi. To throw into Liverpool on the far side. Aga. again, a whipped cross. Toure needed to win that. Crouch. Well, Thierry Henry appears to have settled matters. I don't think he'll be on the pitch at the end either, because he's still on the road to recovery by his standards, but when he does this, you recognise the real man.
I think because it's Liverpool are 2-1 down, Jamie Carragher's trying to keep the ball in, John, rather than just play it out, which arguably he normally would have done.
So off comes Thierry Henry to be replaced by Theo Walcott. Arsenal fans in the left-hand corner giving him a terrific ovation. 2 minutes of the 90 still to be played.
You can't think of too many other people in our game at the moment who would have scored from that situation, given he got the ball round about the centre circle.
Absolutely. It's Alonso for Liverpool to Gerrard, and he's played that rather short, and Flamini can get Arsenal going to Kleb. Walcott goes to the right, and that ball's going to come out of play. Arsene Wenger is standing on the perimeter, still shouting instructions, knowing that he's very close here to the fourth round.
I think from Liverpool's point of view, a much improved second-half performance, but they haven't really made Almunia make too many saves, have they?
Haven't really worked the keeper, you're right. Here's Kleb. Waits. Gilberto. So Liverpool facing their first defeat here at Anfield for 10 months since Benfica won here last March. 21 games up to tonight and 29 against domestic opposition. So Arsenal have really put an end here to a long sequence by Liverpool. No longer Fortress Anfield. Safe enough for Arsenal. We're going to see 4 minutes of added time here, Mark. So flags are still up there and the scarves, but it's very much looking like a lost cause for Liverpool now.
Oh, it's game over, isn't it?
That was Gilberto dwelling on the ball far too long. Pennant. Garcia.
There'll be a minimum of 4 minutes added time.
This is Gerrard to Finnan. Crouch far side, that's where it's going. Hoyt has to be aware. Corner. Well, it's from the corner on that side that they scored. Can they repeat it? Pennant's going across. Aurelio's put the ball down. In fact, Aurelio's taken it, flicked on by Garcia and Senderos. Oof, could have been an own goal.
Good judgment, wasn't it? Just miskick it high enough that it goes over the crossbar. Look.
Another corner. This time Pennant will take it. Garcia in the near post position here for Liverpool. That's Crouch. But here's Walcott. Now, if he does what he's good at, he can run this all the way.
Just a final point on Bellamy, John. He's actually spent the whole of the second half, virtually 45 minutes, warming up.
That's one of the mysteries of the night. We might get an answer in the interview, we'll see. This is Coward here. Walcott for Arsenal. Fouled by Carragher, free kick. I shouldn't think he's too thrilled about it either, Craig Bellamy. And we've played 2 of the 4 minutes here of added time. Clichy. Gilberto's found Flamini. And Gerrard here breaks for Liverpool. 4 others up with him. Garcia. Oh, they wanted that played in earlier. Shot by Alonso. It's come back to Garcia. Senderos didn't get there. Count did.
Yeah, good reaction by Count. Just couldn't quite get enough power on the shot.
What's your final take on this game then?
Well, I think tactically, I think Arsenal have been excellent, and then obviously when Liverpool got their goal, there was a 10-15 minute spell where Arsenal wobbled, but then the class of Henry was the difference.
Well, here's something for Liverpool at the end. Alonso's won a free kick, 30 yards out.
But I do feel with Flamini and Gilberto Silva, 2 defensive players in front of the back players, it's really allowed Arsenal, if it's possible, play even more on the break.
Well, Aurelio's put the ball down. It looks like an angle for the left foot of this. Alonso standing quite close to him. But all this time being taken up is in favour of Arsenal, really. There's a minute of added time to go as Aurelio takes the free kick into the wall. It's come back to Xabi Alonso. Peter Crouch far side. Senderos with the header. Rosicki. Oh, I tell you what, Theo Walcott, if he stays in his own half... No, he didn't. He was just the wrong side of the line. It's an offside, which may not even be given because of the advantage. We're in the closing seconds here now of this third round FA Cup tie. Peter Crouch for Liverpool, who are 3-1 down. Pennant. Little touch now to Gerrard. Couldn't feed it through to Alonso. So, briefly, Mark, a well-deserved win for Arsenal?
Yeah, I think excellent. They came and they so much said to Liverpool, let's see what you've got. They sat back and they waited and they picked Liverpool off in the end. I suggest the first and the second goals, with the proximity of both, really killed the game as far as Liverpool were concerned. Yes, they got one back. There was always a possibility of the third, and as you'd expect, Henry delivered it.
Dirk Kuyt got one back for Liverpool after Rosicki had scored twice for Arsenal, but then the master Thierry Henry came along with a decisive moment, and Liverpool, the FA Cup holders, are out of the competition at the first hurdle. It's Liverpool 1, Arsenal 3.
Yes, it's Arsenal that go through to Monday's 4th round draw, thanks to 2 goals from Thomas Rosicki, 2 fantastic goals in the first half, and a Thierry Henry special. He's back for Arsenal. Ian Wright?
Very happy with that. I thought Arsenal were very comfortable from the start. I thought when you look at the 2 teams, when they say lined up, you can see Arsenal had the pace at the back and the front. So you'd always fancy Arsenal away from home to just soak up what Liverpool had. And then with Thierry back as well, I didn't think he had a great game that he had, but he's always capable of doing what he done at the end there. And I thought it was very comfortable for Arsenal, for us in the end.
I think the fact that he'd spent half an hour hardly doing anything reserved his energy for that goal, because he ran about 200 yards.
Well, but for a 15-minute spell really in the second half, I don't think Liverpool asked enough questions of the Arsenal back four. Kuyt got his goal, and it should have been the time really for Liverpool to stretch them, to get wide, to continue to get balls in the box, but there wasn't really enough times when the goalkeeper was worked. I thought Senderos and Touré were magnificent at the back with the long balls being pumped up to them, and I thought Arsenal thoroughly deserved their victory today.
Yeah, it was a much better half in terms of excitement and entertainment, and when Kuyt got his goal we thought we're going to have a game, and Liverpool had Arsenal on the ropes for 10-15 minute spell, whatever really threatening. And then Carragher makes the mistake. I think if the score had been level, he wouldn't have made the mistake. He would have just kicked it out. But Henry had been really quiet. But you give him a chance, 9 times out of 10 he will deliver. And it was a frightening prospect for the Liverpool defence when he's running at them in full flow. And it was just a calm, cool, collected finish. But over 90 minutes, I think that the result was fair. I think Arsenal were the better side.
I think when a team does that to Arsenal to try and push on, it's classic Arsenal. They're 2-1 up. Liverpool have to go and try and attack. They have to ask questions of them. But when you've got someone with the pace of Henry and Van Persie up front, you're always going to leave yourself open to what happened in the second half.
Arsenal have struggled in the north, but they've struggled against teams that have got into them and closed them down and not let them have time and space to settle and play.
I think Wenger complained about that in his press conference yesterday, but Arsenal defended well today. They were resilient today.
They were, and I think, like Al said, I thought Senderos was really good today. You know, you're always going to get what you're going to get out of Colatori because he's an exceptional defender, but I thought Philip Senderos was really good because he's the one that people will put pressure on to maybe try and get something, and I thought he was exemplary today. Brilliant.
We can hear from both Arsenal's goal scorers there with Damien Johnson.
Thomas, that's a big win for Arsenal.
Yeah, it's a great win here in such a stadium, and we are very happy with the result.
Tell me about the goals. The first one, you hit it first time.
Yeah, I wanted to try it like this, and I'm happy that I finally score again.
And the second one, were you surprised the way the Liverpool defenders seemed to back off and not put the tackle in?
Yeah, my first idea was to pass back to Thierry, but they closed him down, and I have to try it on my own.
And what about this man's goal, the third one that won it?
Yeah, it was a fantastic goal. I think everybody knows how good Thierry is, and he showed again today.
Have you taken time, do you feel, to adjust to English football, and are you now comfortable with the game here?
Yeah, well, the league is much different, that's true, and, but I don't think so that I needed so much time. I think I fit well in this squad, and I'm happy that I can play here.
Jerry, a huge win for Arsenal. What will that do for the team's confidence? Because you've had a sticky patch of late.
Yeah, we never have an easy one here at Anfield, but I think you were mentioning my goal and the two goals of Thomas, but I think today the commitment was spot on. I think at the end of the game, I mean the last 20 minutes they were bombarding us with crosses, and I think Colatori and Senderos and Gilberto in front of the back four with Flamini did tremendously. So that allowed me at the end of the game to score the third one, but the commitment was spot on today.
You've spoken in the past about the great respect you've got for Arsenal, for Liverpool fans, should I say. Very important to silence the crowd. Was that an important factor?
Well, you know, I have so much respect for this ground and for the fans. So, you know, once they stopped, I don't know what they were shouting at the beginning of the game for at least 10 minutes, I think, something. But once they stopped doing it, you know, I couldn't hear nobody on the pitch, and you know, it's always pretty important to make sure you can silence the crowd, even more so here. But what a place to play football here.
You're through to the fourth round. Well done, gents.
Thank you.
Two goal scorers there. A lot of people were doubting Thomas for a while, but Rosicki delivered today, didn't he?
He certainly did, and his first goal was absolutely magnificent. You know, we talked about the ball retention, the movement. It's typical Arsenal. You know, give them time and space to play, and they will destroy you. And that was reflected in his first goal. He actually picks it up here, plays it. There's a lot of red jerseys there, but they just can't get close to it. Never ever, if you watch this closely, get near it. And when it's played in, it's a brilliant strike, and the goalkeeper's got no chance.
Brilliant. Great. He could have crossed it, and most teams would have, and that's why I think we all love Arsenal, the way their style of their football. Some people say, well, they should be more direct because they can't score spectacular goals all the time, but that's why.
When you say we all love Arsenal, Ian Wright certainly does.
Well,
I'm sure probably everyone at home
we
would
love
agree
that
with
style
you on
of
that.
football, the way they sometimes refuse to kick it long.
Exactly.
They insist on playing one and two touch football, and they're great at it.
They are.
Great spectacle.
Liverpool defence will have nightmares about this. If you look at the number that Reds run about the ball here, it's almost embarrassing. First of all, you know, you pick it up in that area there, you're expecting somebody to get tight, and then there's millions of them. I mean, just, and there's still no challenge.
The thing with Arsenal, what they do is no matter where they're playing, at home or away, like Liverpool, like Thierry said, they bombarded them, but they don't panic. They will continue to play how they play. And because he knows, and everybody knows, that if you get a ball that's just an obscure ball just knocked out, he's capable of doing that. It's unlucky for Jamie Carragher, but it's ended the game for him.
They're a great side to watch, Arsenal. Even when they've got their backs to the wall, you know, they might come out with a counter-attack. But the thing that did put them under pressure was Count's goal in the second half. It was a long time coming, but it did liven it up a bit.
It did liven up, and the consensus of opinion would say that you should always have somebody, a defender on the post.